Okay, hi guys. Okay, I just had a talk with Mike Smith, and that's for you, Mike Smith. And we were talking along, and let's see what happened. A kid did something that was bothering her, and she started to get angry about it. And I stopped her in the moment, and because I was listening to her, she was talking to him, and I said, she came back to me, and I could tell that she was a bit angry. And I said, the first thing that I do whenever I hear that or watch you is say, well, I wonder why she created that. And so I told her that. I said, so why did you create that? And of course, immediately her vibration went from annoyance or anger to curiosity. And so she suggested that I do a video telling you guys that's a really, really good way of keeping yourself from getting some blowback from the universe on being angry or annoyed. Is when you find yourself angry or annoyed, which you can catch that, whatever the event is, then immediately say, well, why did I create that? And that will get you off of the angry mode if you allow yourself to really be honest about it. And it'll get you off of angry over into curiosity. And your curiosity will look back in the moment and go, well, why did I create that? What was the point of that? Why did I go to a timeline where that was there? What drew me there? What was it supposed to let me know? Was there a lesson to be learned? Is that a key here? Is that, with me, it's like, oh, I'm on the wrong timeline. If I can get angry over that, then I'm on the wrong timeline. That's not where I want to be. Click, send out something positive to move timelines instead of being angry in the moment at that thing. But in order to do that, you really have to believe, understand fully, and believe that you are a creator God and that you create everything. Or a better way of putting it is that you decide which timelines you're on, that you go to whatever timeline it is. So, and I just said something I'm going to go ahead and go into here, that a lot of the New Age stuff that I've seen, there's a whole bunch of create and co-create stuff out there, including one of my favorites, which is Abraham with Esther Hicks channeling Abraham. And there is a lot of creating and co-creating. Now, what I have seen when I talk to people is that, and I talk to people about it, is there's this resentment by the people around that person, because that implies that you're changing them or you're changing the beings around you. So I find that has taken off on a literal, negative energetic connotation with a lot of people. That is the reason why I use timelines. So you're not changing anybody around you in the moment. You are going to a timeline that has beings around you that agree with you on that moment. So you're not changing anybody, because you can't do that. You cannot change anybody else. It's none of your business. You don't have the right. You get to decide yours. But what you can do is you can change the reality around you to a timeline that fits where you are in the moment. And as a conscious creator God, you do that by changing over to a timeline that fits, that agrees with you. You don't change the beings and the people in front of you. And I was talking to Mike Smith, and I was describing, so let's say if you really believed all this stuff, you could literally be in the moment with a guy in front of you, that your husband in front of you, who is extremely abusive and you didn't like at all, that really treated you badly. You could seriously go into a meditative state, visualize you moving timelines, and open yourself up, and there would be a version, an aspect of that guy in front of you that was the equivalent of your, like, perfect guy. Now, which that leads into a whole bunch of other things, that there's an aspect of you on every timeline, or at least most timelines. But let's say you did that. You went over to a timeline where the aspect of that guy wasn't anywhere, that he decided he didn't want an aspect of him on a timeline where he was Mr. Perfect for you. Then what would happen is he would just drop dead of a heart attack, or he would leave and never see you again. Something would happen that, and Mr. Wonderful would walk into your life that was a completely different person. But either way, you can do that. You cannot, in the timeline that you're at, with the jerk that you're with, you cannot change that aspect of that person, because that is interfering with other people's story, and you can't do that. You have to go to a timeline, you have to move your timeline over to the entities and the versions or the aspects of that person or those people or whatever that agree with you, of what you're visualizing. That's what you're doing. And I've said this before on the collective consciousness. You're going to go to the collective consciousness that agrees with what you're wanting to do. So it's you that move. You turn your attention, your beliefs, your intent over to a timeline that matches you. And right now, in the moment, back to my original story of Mike Smith, she was in a timeline that she had decided on, that she had, in a co-creative process, definitely created that moment in that time with all of those beings. That included that child annoying her. So the question, whenever something happens that makes you upset or angry, is not, oh, well, even though you could be right, they could have done some bad thing that you have every right to be angry about. The question is, do you want to be angry? Do you want to stay in this timeline that you've created where this kind of anger is stimulated? Because if you send out the anger, that's exactly where you're going to be. You're going to be in the timelines that kind of anger is available, and you will be triggered to it. Is that what you want? If it is, don't listen to this video. If it's not, then you should immediately go, oh, I'm angry, I'm annoyed, I'm irritated, I fill in the blanks of something you don't want. Your first instantaneous response should be, after feeling that emotion or realizing you're having that feeling, is, whoa, why am I on this timeline? Why am I with these beings co-creating this instant where I am annoyed or angry or sad or depressed or fill in the blank? Then you immediately go, whoop, no, that's not what I want. I want peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness. That's what I want. So obviously I'm not there yet. I'm not on that timeline. Otherwise I wouldn't have been triggered to anger. So I'm not going to respond to that anger, because I'm the one that co-created it with these beings. I'm the one that agreed to it. So the responsible thing for a creator God to do is take responsibility for being a part of this co-creative instant in time on this timeline and go, whoop, is that what you want to do? No? Then don't respond to it. Don't get angry. Just go, well, why did I create that? And that curiosity, in Mike Smith's case, that immediately changed her. I mean, I just said, why did you do that? Why did you create that? And she immediately went, whoop. And the pain, the anger and the annoyance immediately stopped. And she went right into, well, why did I? And the curiosity energy just completely knocked out the anger and annoyance energy. We just laughed because it happened so fast that it was just over. The anger and the annoyance was just over in an instant. Now, she was talking to that child for 30 seconds to a minute, and that annoyance was there. Now, I've told you that you're sending a message to the universe every 10 seconds or less. So she was talking to that child for 30 seconds to a minute. What do you think her next few minutes after that, or a day, is going to look like? What timelines is she going to be on? Right. She's going to be on timelines where she can, and probably will, be triggered into annoyance and anger. So, but she'll be on it far less than if she would have continued being angry and annoyed, which she did not. She immediately, whenever I asked, well, why did you create that? She immediately went, oh, that's right, I did create that. And no, that's not what I want. And we laughed, and she was completely didn't have any more angry or annoyance vibes. And she will, I'm sure, be thinking about why she created that moment in time, probably as I'm doing this video. Probably. But she did want me to do a video on it and explain what had happened, and she felt like that would help you guys out there. So, there you go, Mike Davis. Thank you for the discussion, and thank you for reminding me of it. And here's the video. If that didn't cover it, or if I need to do more, or if you have any questions or comments about anything, be sure and write them below. Comment or email me, and I'll write you back. Okay? Huge hugs. I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.